My ex-husband, 38, Kevin, and I, 36, female, got divorced 4 years ago. We have a teen daughter, Liz, together. Admittedly, I've never been on good terms with Kevin since the divorce, but I try to stay civil for Liz's sake. He met his then-girlfriend less than a year ago and then got married. Their wedding was last week. Liz was invited, but I got contacted by Kevin with a list of rules from him and his now wife, like how I'm not supposed to call Liz's phone or see any photos or videos of the event. The last rule said that I wasn't allowed to drop Liz off or pick her up from the wedding because Kevin said that his wife didn't want to see me on her wedding day. I thought that was highly insecure and a bit loco on the wife's part, but I agreed anyway. So I asked how Liz would get there, and he said, "We'll take care of it. Stay out of it." I was with Mom while Liz was at the wedding. I then get a call from her crying, saying that I needed to come and get her immediately. I freaked out and asked what was going on. She told me that her 19-year-old stepsister poured wine all over her dress for no reason. Keep in mind that her dress was yellow with silk material, so nothing that violated the dress code. I was furious. I asked where her dad was in all of this, and she said he saw it but downplayed it and told her to go wash and then come back. She begged me to come to get her, and I got in my car with my mom and went to the wedding. We got there. They had the wedding at his in-laws' house, and I rushed in and started calling Liz's phone. Kevin and his in-laws saw me, and he rushed over to me, asking what I was doing there. I said I was there to get my daughter, who her stepsister mistreated and humiliated for no reason. He got upset, told me I wasn't supposed to be there, and yelled at me to leave. We argued till Liz came. He tried to make her stay, but I told Mom to take her to the car. The argument got bigger, and I ended up leaving after calling him a terrible dad in front of his in-laws. Liz was crying nonstop. I couldn't get her to stop, so I stayed the night with my mom. But the next day, both Kevin and his family were coming at me from all directions, calling, texting, coming over, to tell me that I ruined the wedding and made a scene after I was explicitly told and warned not to show my face there. I had to argue with him, his mom, and his dad for hours, trying to discuss what happened with Liz, and what his mom suggested was that I could have had someone else come pick her up. But she called me and was crying. In that moment, I felt like running with both feet to get her, but now I think I may have caused a scene and handled this inappropriately. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Obviously, you were right to go pick her up, but there was zero reason for you to run inside while calling her phone. You could have called from the car or had your mother go in. Instead, the stepdaughter started the drama. Your ex didn't stand up for your daughter, but you took advantage of the situation to cause more drama. Yeah, I've got to disagree with this one. If Dad didn't want the ex-wife to show her face, he should have done something. Walking in to retrieve her probably made her feel like someone was on her side. Sorry, but when someone who's supposed to be your family humiliates you and your father downplays it, screw their feelings getting hurt. They've lost any right to respect they may have had before. You don't get to trample over someone, humiliate them, and then complain about being mistreated. Not the idiot, OP. You did what any good mom would do. You went and got your daughter out of a horrible situation. So now your daughter knows she can count on you always. He's lucky you didn't involve the police, because that was an assault on his daughter, who he didn't defend. Your poor daughter, being treated like that, and then dismissed by her father as if it's nothing. I honestly hope that it did ruin the wedding. They deserve to have it ruined for bullying and allowing bullying of a child. His new wife must be insecure if she couldn't see your face on her wedding day. And from now on, don't allow to be yourself a pawn in these strange games his new wife is playing. Just do your thing and block all these family members of your ex. You don't need these kind of people in your life. It's one of the perks of being divorced. This marriage of your ex will probably not last for long, or he'll lose his daughter over this. My friend, 20 male, and I, 19 female, both go to school in the US, but we are both in a foreign European country to gain work experience. The internship is unpaid, but the school provides a small stipend to pay for rent for those with financial needs. My friends and I both got this stipend. We have a week and a half left here. My friend suddenly told me he needs to fly to Austria to see his mother. He's a citizen of Austria, but our school is in the US because she's sick. She had cancer in the past and they said they think it might have come back. He has no more stipend money, so he asked me to loan him $110 for the plane. I found out he's actually in Paris with his girlfriend. My other friends showed me his personal Instagram story. His mom is fine. I got upset at him since he deceived me, and he admitted it and said, "But you wouldn't have given me the money if I had told you the truth." I said he needed to give me back the money so I could eat, because I'm stuck here another week with basically no money for food. He's ignoring me now, and my other friends are saying it's warranted because of my harsh words for him. I have like $15 to eat for a week and a half. I need the money so I don't starve alone in a foreign country, but they're acting like I'm being an unreasonable person for demanding it, and he isn't answering. So, am I the idiot here? Not the idiot. He lied about why he needed it, and not just that, but he used a fake cancer scare as the excuse so he could go see his girlfriend. That kind of lie is just manipulative and dirty. Why didn't his girlfriend pay for him? And him saying he knew you wouldn't give him the money otherwise proves he knows it was wrong. No amount of harsh words from you makes what he did okay. I'd be blowing up his phone and social media until he gave it back. Probably the girlfriends too. If he blocked me, I'd start telling all his friends how he used his mother's cancer to steal money from me. He's no longer a friend. All bets are off. Not the idiot, but contact his parents and ask for the money. DM his mother sincerely. "Hey, Marcus told me you were sick. I lent him money for the flight back to see you, but I haven't heard from him. Did his flight arrive safely? He was so worried about you and going on about how he couldn't afford to go see you. So naturally, I lent him the $110 he needed to ensure you were okay. I just haven't gotten an update from him, so I wanted to check on you myself. He said your cancer's back. How bad is it? Do you need anything? How can I help?" Yes, but OP should also add that he promised to pay me back ASAP, and I have almost no money left for food. And since I haven't heard from him, I'm really worried about both of you, as I know he wouldn't leave me without food money unless something was wrong. All of this, and also contact the people in charge of the program and do the same thing. Only tell them the truth. Say, I gave him money to go home to be with his mother, but now I'm struggling for food money. Then I found out he took my money, went to hang out in Paris with his girlfriend, and he won't pay me back. Are there funds for emergencies I can access? Document it all. That little turd abused the program as well as you. My husband, 32, and I, 26, have been married for nearly 6 months. His family and I don't have a super strong connection because I don't spend much time around them. We also have so little in common. I had only attended 2 of their events, and both times I couldn't sit with the family. My brother-in-law's wedding was last week. It was the first in-law's wedding that I attended. Not gonna lie, I was nervous, but hoped this would be an opportunity for me to bond with them, especially mother-in-law. My husband and I got there. He then greeted guests, and I waited for him till the ceremony began. After that, we got invited to eat. I went to get my makeup fixed, then came back and saw that both family tables were full. My husband was sitting with his mom, dad, and sisters, and the other table had relatives, and they were all men. I looked so confused, and I stood there, and mother-in-law motioned for me to go sit at a table where formal guests were seated. I was completely baffled at this. I politely told her I'd like to sit with my family and my husband, but my husband said there was no free spot for me. I told him he could have saved me a chair, but he said that just like me, he was a guest, and there wasn't much he could do. He urged me to go sit at that table, but I refused, and we started arguing. His mom told me I was making an unnecessary scene and complaining for no good reason. I had it. I gathered my coat and turned to leave. I could tell that several guests knew about it because of how loud the argument was. My husband followed me out and kept telling me to quit acting immature and go back, but I refused and said that I was going home. I went home, then he came back later to tell me how he and the rest of the family felt about what I did and how I embarrassed the family and made a scene at his brother's wedding for no valid reason. I said I wasn't going to sit by and be excluded like that, but he said I got this wrong and that this was his brother's wedding and we were all guests, and I should, as a guest, respect that. So we went on and on about this and then stopped talking altogether. His mom and sister commented about me being oversensitive and having attachment issues for refusing to sit away from my husband for 30 minutes or so. Am I the idiot for leaving this wedding? Not the idiot. They told you that you aren't family, and they have no intention of changing that. The husband is 32. I could understand a young 20-year-old with a frontal brain lobe that isn't fully developed overlooking his wife at the moment. But by 30, he should have known better and knew exactly what they were doing. Don't waste your time with a crappy person being excluded. OP, you deserve better. As a husband, I'm amazed at how often I see stories of spouses treating their husband or wife like an outsider when they're around their side of the family. If I were in this man's shoes, I would have said, yes, we can go sit at the formal guest table since there isn't enough room for us. My wife and I do plenty separately, but when we attend a function together, we attend it together. Purposely excluding you is such small, petty behavior. They made it into a thing when they did that. They wanted you to take it on the chin, but instead you stood up for yourself and shined a light on their pathetic behavior. I would have left the wedding too, and then left the marriage. Agree. I highly salute you for leaving the wedding. OP, he's letting them walk all over you. In my experience, mama's boys also suck in other respects and may also be immature and controlling. I would be taking a hard look at the relationship as a whole, specifically any changes that would have occurred after marriage. My wife and I, both 40, have a kid each from previous relationships. Mine is Connor, 18 male, and hers is Sasha, teen female. My son has a girlfriend, Hannah, teen, and both she and Sasha are lactose intolerant. Sasha spends half the month with us, so we always have normal and lactose-free milk. I'll admit, Sasha's milk is quite expensive because she only likes the certain kind that she can also drink alone and not just with coffee or smoothies. Now the issue is Hannah spends almost 3 to 4 days here, and my wife and I don't mind at all. Still, Sasha has complained several times that Hannah drinks her milk as fuel during those days and barely leaves anything for her. We go to the supermarket every 2 weeks. Sasha can go to any nearby store and get more, though not the one she likes, and has asked us to either buy a gallon for her only and one for Hannah, or tell her to go buy her own milk. So my wife decided just to buy Sasha a small fridge to keep in her room so that she could store her milk and other things there, which I find very disrespectful. This has caused Hannah to ask if she can borrow a bit of milk every time she wants to drink a coffee with us. And Sasha says yes most times, but when she decides Hannah has had enough milk, she says she's almost running out, which is a lie. A few days ago, before Sasha was about to come back from her father's, my wife and I bought the groceries and we put the milk in the fridge. Then Sasha came and attempted to take it to her room, and I said that she wasn't allowed to do it because it was for the whole house and she had to leave it there. She didn't say anything and just went to her room. About 5 to 6 hours after that, Sasha's dad pulled up and brought her a gallon and told us that we didn't have to buy any more lactose-free milk for Sasha since he'll be taking care of it from now on, but that my son's girlfriend wasn't allowed to have any, so we had to provide for her if we wanted to. My wife is mad. She said we should have let Sasha have her own milk and bought another for when Hannah's here, even if it's not as expensive. But I think Sasha's being a brat. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Hannah is inconsiderate regarding Sasha's milk. She's drinking too much too often. You need to put your foot down. Hannah can bring her own milk if she wants it, or drink something else. Guests lose their special privileges when they're there 3 to 4 days a week, inconveniencing the people who live there to this degree. You could also stay on top of the milk situation better and solve the problem yourself by buying an appropriate amount for both girls. I was initially confused, as I'd assumed Hannah was one of their children, but then I looked back at the names and saw it was the son's girlfriend. Seriously? Why does the girlfriend get special treatment? Can't she just carry or leave the non-dairy little tubs that don't need refrigeration when she needs coffee? Because she's his son's girlfriend. Sasha is just his wife's daughter. Notice he never calls her his daughter or stepdaughter, and is clear in his language that she isn't his. The problem is that you, OP, weren't buying more. Sasha and her mom proactively tried to solve the issue by suggesting getting more or protecting her special supply. But you can't let her have her one special thing. You're the one who cultivated the scarcity mentality in her. She wouldn't care if she had to share. It didn't mean she sometimes had to go without. Why not get a gallon? Why not get 2 gallons? Congratulations, you created drama and resentment in the household for no reason. Here's a damn gallon of milk, you moron. I love Sasha's dad in this story. OP, you should feel embarrassed. You're creating problems between your wife and her daughter. I wouldn't be surprised if Sasha went to live with her father full time. You may think you've won, but you're only going to hurt your marriage. Yes, you apparently think Sasha's a brat. You don't like her. You're deliberately trying to deprive her of something as basic as milk. That poor kid should not have to live with you at all. We had our baby girl 6 weeks ago. Since then, my husband started sharing on social media platforms about how hard he works and how hard being a father is, basically getting sympathy points, while I do 80% of childcare, obviously. It got to the point where friends and family would scold me for not giving that poor man a break. I got fed up, so I started recording him when he got home. He eats by himself, watches TV, naps, etc., all with dates and times, and I started sharing those videos whenever a family member or friend called me bossy. My husband got mad and demanded I stop sharing those videos. I said I will once he stopped acting like he was the one working hard. Last night we were out, and some friends of my husband started with his sob story about how being a dad is consuming. Friends started side-eyeing him while he listed the things he does throughout the day. I pulled my phone and showed him what he does throughout the day. He was stunned, and our friends were quiet. Dinner got awkward, and we went home. He blew up at me, saying I was ruining his reputation, alienating him from everyone, and throwing dirt on his name. We argued for hours, and then he left to be with his family. His mom hinted that I was wrong for handling it this way, and called me childish and a bully for it. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. He is lying, and not stopping friends and family when they're scolding you for not giving him a break, while you do the lion's share of childcare. He comes home, eats alone, takes naps, and watches TV peacefully. When do you get to do those things? It's only 6 weeks in, and he's already acting so immature. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to get better. You're only 6 weeks postpartum. What kind of friends and family do you guys have that would judge you, even if he did 90% of the work with the baby? You gave birth about a minute ago. Even if it was easy labor, your whole body's still recovering. I'm legitimately concerned about your support system for the divorce that could happen if your husband doesn't pull his head out of his rear. You'll need a community you can rely on. Everyone's the idiot here. I'll take you at your word that your husband's not pulling his weight when it comes to childcare. Therefore, he gets some idiot points. But do you think that some sort of public shaming campaign will increase the likelihood of him becoming a more engaged parent or strengthen your relationship in any way? If this is an issue, you need to address it as adults do. If your husband refuses to address the issues in an adult manner, then you have other decisions to make. You undoubtedly have a problem. My issue is with your solution. He's the one bringing it out in public. He isn't framing it as being a parent is really hard on both of us, but it's hard on him. Now, if he wasn't airing this and she pulled out the phone to complain about him, it would be on her. So her doing that only after he puts it out there to me isn't retaliation, but showing it isn't true. And your solutions to keep it private or leave it with the newborn? Really? He's a lying, lazy idiot who deserved what he got.